This is a momentous occasion. This is actually the moment that I've been waiting for. I come to you as a product of the Philadelphia public school system, come to you as a parent of public school students, the spouse of a public school administrator, a former school board member in Cheltenham Township, a former trustee of the community college here in Montgomery County. And before I was elected to this office, I was the tax collector in Cheltenham Township, which is perhaps one of the highest burdened school districts and communities in Pennsylvania. I'm here because of my experience in the tax office, not my experience in education. I remember having, as the school board member, ensured that we had the funds, fought for the funds, built the programming around the funds that we had at our disposal so that we could meet the needs of education of students in our school district. As a tax collector, what I understood was I had seniors in my district who were trying to figure out how they would be able to live in the home that they had in their family for generations. I'll tell you, we send our school bills out in the beginning of June each year. So this school district does all the same as the rest of the 500 plus school districts in Pennsylvania. In July, I had a call from a senior in my district. This is the first 6 months in the job. He was paying $20,000 a year in property taxes. He was an 86-year-old man. His spouse had died. His family, his kids had all moved on. He had lived in that house for 50 years because he bought the house to send his kids to Cheltenham. They did great. The school district did them well, but they weren't paying $20,000 a year. What you realize is that our property taxes were the problem for him. This funding formula and this lawsuit, the school funding lawsuit, wasn't just a lawsuit that says that we're inadequately funding education. We are. We've mentioned words like $4 billion. It's hard to think about what $4 billion will mean. It sounds like it's small stuff. We're getting ready to root on the Super Bowl team. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to win on Sunday. And the notion of millionaires and billionaires seems almost trivial. I will tell you in Harrisburg, $4 billion is a big number. $4 billion is not a get this done today number. $4 billion is not a partisan fight. $4 billion is a problem that we don't yet have a solution for on either side of the aisle, to be honest with you. But that's an adequacy argument. That is a what does school look like in Pennsylvania? We're going to have that conversation. So to all of the students, to the school administrators, to the teachers in the room, to those who are following us online, please make sure that you reach out to your school board members. Your school board members reach out to your legislators, to the legislators in the room. We're going to have to put our heads together and figure out what does adequate education look like in Pennsylvania in the 21st century? Because I promise you, we don't really know. But the real argument behind that lawsuit was inequity. The argument in that lawsuit was there are some school districts that are doing phenomenally well, that just look like, and they're competing with some of the best private schools in the country. If we put more money into the fair funding formula, Lower Merion, which is a great school system, it is one of the wealthiest school districts in the country, would get more money because residents in Lower Merion are overtaxed. Residents in Cheltenham are overtaxed. Residents right here in Pottstown are overtaxed. What we have right now is a tax problem. And a tax problem combined with I don't know what adequate education looks like. It's going to be a crazy 2 years. For those who've been following the legislature, if you think this past 2 months has been exciting, wait until we have to figure out how in the world we respond to the opinion from this Commonwealth Court judge. It was the right opinion. It was the correct determination. Our schools are inadequately and inequitably funded. That's the problem. What we're going to try and do as legislators now is try and figure out what the solution is. To the students, I promise you, once we figure out this solution, that's not going to be the last problem. There will be another. You need to figure that one out, because we'll have tried to figure this out, figured out how in the world to raise another $4 billion to fund education. Half of us will be voted out once we do it, because it's the right thing to do. Yep. And then it's your turn to figure out the next challenge. So make sure that while you continue to do all you can do in this school system, a phenomenal building with phenomenal dedicated teachers who are doing more with less, who ought to have more at their disposal, the challenge for you is figure out how to take the lemons that you're given, make some lemonade. We're going to figure out how in the world to adequately and equitably fund public education. I'm going to go back to my district when this is over and tell my seniors that help is on the way. Bear with us. It's a big problem, but we're here for it. And now is the moment. And I will say I'm very, very thankful that the folks who in the House side get to figure out the solution to this problem aren't the ones who got us into this problem in the first place.